of what I know about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but you do not. The show where I talk about the things that I know about the Oklahoma City Thunder and you don't. Yeah, that's it. I haven't seen you guys in a week. There's been a lot happen in Loud City, so let's get right to it. Free agency, like I mentioned on the last video, started on July 1st. There's been a flurry of activity all over the league, and I was glued to Twitter watching for breaking news on what the Thunder were going to do. Free agency is a very weird time to be a fan because you want your team to get better. You want them to push for the playoffs, to push for the championship. And I know the Thunder they made the playoffs as the 6th seed last year. They, lost in the first round. You want them to improve, want them to, get to the finals and win a championship. So that's what you root for. But at the same time, you grow attached to these players, and you hate to see when they leave.
Yeah.
You hear the comment in the background that wasn't free agency, that was a trade. But if you don't know what I'm talking about,
that was stupid.
Yeah, when they traded Serge Ibaka, which was a dark day in this house. But anyway, so you get attached to these players, and when you don't want to see them leave, but you want to see the team improve. So like Taj Gibson, who came over in a trade at the trade deadline last season. He became a fan favorite. He worked hard. He played hard. I really liked him, but he signed a free agent deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves this offseason. So I was watching Twitter, waiting to see what the Thunder were going to do. They had already traded for Paul George, which is still hard to believe. They got Paul George, superstar, big-time player. So what would they do next? How would they improve? They needed more three-point shooting, more offense. More offense. A backup point guard that was a little bit more capable and a little bit more experienced than Shamaz Christian. So I turned on notifications on Twitter with my watch, so they'd beep, drive my wife crazy, but so I could tell what was going on. And sure enough, a few days ago, their first big signing, actually the biggest free agent signing the Thunder have ever had, they signed Patrick Patterson, a power forward from Toronto. He's a good three-point shooter. He shot 40% from the corners. He's a versatile defender. So everything I read, it looks like he will fit in great with the Thunder. He will help space the floor, spread everyone out, so Westbrook and Adams and George have more space to roam in the paint. So that was a pretty good signing. And then not much happened after that, and then a bunch of rumors flying around. They were looking at Rudy Gay. He came to visit. Enes Kanter actually posted a picture on Twitter of Gay sitting next to, or a placard on the locker that said Rudy Gay next to Westbrook's. And he said, league sources indicate. So it looked like, hey, maybe they'll sign him. Well, they ended up not signing him. But, that's what Kanter, funny guy. So they were looking at Rudy Gay, they were looking at a number of other players, and nothing else was happening. Then they announced that they signed Andre Roberson to a new deal, 3 years, $30 million. He was going to be a restricted free agent, or he was a restricted free agent, and they went ahead and signed him without having to match someone else's offer sheet or anything like that. So that was good to keep him around longer. And then, that was not much else happened for a day or two, and then today, just a little while ago, they announced the signing of point guard Raymond Felton, who previously played for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's a veteran, 33 years old, a good, solid point guard, really what they needed, because if you guys watched the Thunder any last year, anytime Westbrook went out of the game, downhill they went. That carried over into the playoffs against the Rockets. I read a stat that when Westbrook was on the court, the Thunder outscored the Rockets by like 38 points. When he was off the court, they were outscored by like 257 million, something like that. Give or take a few points. But so now they have a new veteran point guard to kind of solidify that role. I thought Christian did a good job, but obviously, the stats in the games bear out that they would really struggle without Westbrook on the floor. So hopefully, in the least, Felton can kind of keep him steady while Westbrook is out. But of course, they also have Paul George. If they stagger their lineups, that will also keep the Thunder from sinking when Westbrook is out. Also take some of the pressure off of it. So that's basically what has happened in free agency to this point. They signed Patrick Patterson. They signed Raymond Felton. They re-signed Andre Roberson. Collison is still an unrestricted free agent. I'm sure they'll sign him to some sort of deal eventually. I can't imagine him playing for another team. There was some rumors that are not really rumors, but talk on Twitter, all these NBA bloggers I follow, that because Gordon Hayward went to Boston from the Utah Jazz, which meant Boston had to get rid of a lot of people to generate the cap space they needed to sign Hayward. And a lot of people thought that maybe Thunder would try to go after Marcus Smart, who plays for Boston, formerly of Oklahoma State. He would fit in with their trade exception they have. I won't go into detail what a trade exception is because it's, I don't know, I don't care how it comes about, but it's a mechanism they have that they could take on his salary. But with the signing of Felton, that probably won't happen. Consult my notes here. What else has gone on? But that's been free agency. Some exciting moves. But mainly the trade for Paul George is going to be great. And next season, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. They're going to be a lot better. I mean, the starting lineup will have next season: Westbrook, Roberson, George, Patterson, Adams. That's a good lineup. There should be better scoring, be better defensively. Paul George is a great defender. And a guy I follow on Twitter, Nate Duncan, he said now the Thunder are the best equipped to guard the Warriors, which that's the team everyone's shooting for. And then now their lineup is going to have all sorts of versatility. They could go real small with Westbrook, George, Roberson, McDermott, and Abrinas, just put shooters all over the place. They could go big with Cantor, bring him in off the bench as they had been doing last year. Just a lot of versatility. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun to watch. In other news, what has happened this week, the Orlando Summer League has gone on, and for those of you who don't know, every year there's a couple of summer leagues the NBA runs, one in Orlando, one in Las Vegas, where teams send their new draft picks, their second and third year players that need some more experience, some more playing time. They send them to these week-long leagues where they play against other NBA teams, young players. So for the Thunder, they send Josh Huestis, Samaj Christian. They're two Thunder players. Huestis hasn't gotten much of a chance with the Thunder. He spent most of his time with the Blue. And they also had Dakari Johnson, who they drafted a few years ago. He's a 7-footer. He's made a lot of strides in the D-League, now known as the G-League, for the Blue. He was a D-League All-Star last year. And I'm just wondering, when he's going to get a chance with the Thunder or another team. I think he needs a chance. I think he deserves a shot. And I'm also wondering about Josh Huestis. He played pretty well in the Summer League, and he's been around what seems like years now. I think this is his third season, but he's never really gotten a chance to really have consistent playing time. It'd be interesting to see if he could get that this year, at least in spurts. Then maybe it'd be another weapon off the bench. But anyway, the Summer League, the Thunder went 2-3. 2 wins right off the bat, pretty good, and they lost. Obviously, these games don't mean anything. This would have been a time that their number 1 draft pick, the 21st draft pick, but the Thunder's only draft pick, Terrence Ferguson, would have played. But he had played overseas professionally in Australia last year, and he couldn't get clearance from the International Basketball Federation. So he didn't get to play. So we didn't get to see him, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So that's the Summer League. It's over now. The Thunder do not send a team to Vegas, which is going on now. But that's about it for the week. Free agency's pretty much dying down. The Thunder may make some more moves. I don't know. I'll talk about them next week. But I think they've had a pretty good offseason so far. Presti's done an awesome job. No one thought Oklahoma City would get Paul George, and here we are. So my camera battery is running down. So that's about it. Please like, subscribe, share this video, comment. Let's get a discussion going about the Thunder. I love watching the games. I love following them. It's just a lot of fun. So comment and, get involved in the show. So, again, my name is Tyler, aka Sir Knows a Lot. This is what I know about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but you don't. So, join me again next week. We'll have another episode. We'll cover whatever happens in the upcoming week as we build towards the regular season. So, until next time, Thunder up.